I think that shower is just about going to miss us here. How are you doing? This is Martin from Gardens for Life. So I decided to bring you with me to harvest a few cuttings and tubers and plants from the garden. We're missing a few different bits and pieces that we need to collect here in our garden, and we'll pack those up and send those out to you guys that ordered something off us online. By the way, if you want to place an order with us, just take a look at our website. I'll just leave a link below. And don't forget, we have the seed and plant swap and homesteading swap coming up on the 26th of February here in Roscommon, near Roscommon town. We encourage people to bring not just seeds and plants, but also anything that you produce yourself, whether it's in the garden or in the homestead or in the household, and even roots that could be divided, and cuttings or anything like that you can bring along. And even if you don't have any of those things, come along anyway to our seed and plant swap and just come for a chat. More details on our website. We also have a homesteading workshop day coming up next Sunday. So if you're interested in that, again, more details on our website. And last quick announcement, we have a food preserving and canning workshop coming up as well. And that's on the 5th of March. So take a look at our website for more details. Now, let's take a look at our garden. So it's definitely a little cold today and windy. Hopefully we don't get drizzled upon. We seem to be fairly clear at the moment for rain. Although we haven't really had rain for 2 weeks, it's been fairly dry. So I don't even need wellies. I simply wear leather shoes. So the garden is a little rough looking this time of year, but that's normal. We leave all of the stalks and woody bits and pieces on top of the garden beds so that they protect the soil life and the insects over the winter, give them somewhere to live, and we're going to just take those away at the start of the spring or the end of the winter. So the first thing we are going to pick up is some Jerusalem artichokes. I already dug up a few here. As you can see here, these are actually fuzao, is the name of the variety. They do get quite big, you can see, and they cook the very same as a potato, but you do need to cure them for a couple of weeks somewhere in a place with light. For those of you who haven't heard of this vegetable, it's actually tuberous sunflower, and it's from North America. And if you don't cure them before cooking them, you may end up finding out why they're known as fartichoke as well. So it's best to cure them, but they're very healthy for you. And I'm going to dig up a couple of more varieties of those. You can see the stalks here. They have kind of like a bit of foam in the middle, and they're perfect material for making insect hotels or insect piles, as we call them. And we simply leave those on the garden bed until, again, springtime or early spring. And we'll take those stalks and just pile them up in our garden. Just like so. That's an insect pile. So we simply just throw any grass or weeds or anything like that, or stalks on top for years and years. And the fertility actually ends up getting washed away into our garden beds. We normally try to keep these insect piles somewhere at the edge of our garden beds, so they also kind of block the grasses from coming in as well. This is a Portuguese kale cutting, and we don't need to keep the leaves on, but we can actually divide that up into several pieces. And you basically simply cut the bottom off at an angle so that you know which way is down, and you strip away most of the leaves. I won't do it here now, but that'd be a very good Portuguese kale cutting. So we'll put that in here. Let's take a look and see if we can find some mashuas now. You can see this is definitely a sign that there's mashuas around, and there has been, because these stringy bits is actually how it climbs, and it's best planted right next to trees such as these ones here. These are some slow berry trees, and our mashuas love climbing them and using the space very efficiently. And this is kind of southwest facing as well, so it's ideal. Let's see if there's many tubers here. That's just a few. Some of them probably have been exposed to the frost. There's loads of worms here, you can see. They absolutely love the tubers. They like to overwinter under them. There's probably a lot of exudates. That means excess nutrient that the plant puts out into the soil to keep the soil life happy too. There's a few here. Some of them were frost damaged, you can see here. I'm not going to send that out to you guys. I'm going to plant that again and it'll actually grow. All you have to do to plant in a mashua is make a hole, pop it in the hole and close it off, and that's it. It's very simple. Let's see if I can find a few mashuas here. There's definitely a few here. Not bad. Mashuas are very hardy, except the leaves actually go away once the first hard frost hits. But in general, they just grow and grow and grow, and they don't require any attention year after year. You don't have to harvest the mashuas. You can actually just leave them in the ground for years if you wanted to. And even I find they never actually go rotten in the ground, except when the frost actually basically bites them from the top. So these are actually Josta berries. So Josta is simply a cross between gooseberries and blackcurrants. You can see they're already starting to leaf out, so it's the perfect time to take cuttings, anytime they're dormant as well. Now, so we simply take some cuttings here. Always keep, when you're making your cutting, always keep 1 or 2 leaf buds like these ones and cut it above at an angle. They say it helps with the water to run off it, but also I don't need to make another cut now because I know which way is down on the cutting automatically. So let's see here, any kind of branches that are crossing other branches, same as a fruit tree. And it's really that simple. So that's the cuttings. So if you want to make a cutting, all you have to do is you simply take away the bottom couple of leaf buds and you cut it off straight on the top. Don't cut your finger, and that'll be a cutting. You have an angle at the bottom and a straight cut at the top, and those leaf buds should grow once the bottom actually roots. You simply stick that into the ground, maybe halfway or a third of the way, and that's it. Within a year you'll have a new plant. Oh, let's put our cuttings right there. So this is another variety of Jerusalem artichoke. Let's see, where will we go? Somewhere around here. Now, hopefully you don't fall over. Let's see what we can find. You can see all the mycelium here. It's the winecap mushroom spores, or the roots actually of the mushroom. And they're all over our woodchip island. And you can see, well, these tubers will have been pre-inoculated. So that's a good thing for anyone that's getting those. Anywhere you plant those now, you should eventually get some winecap mushrooms, or King Stropharia. It's actually a symbiotic mushroom which helps the plants grow more, or gather more minerals and water by extending the root system. So you can see here, they're pretty nice. These ones are Aurora Rubin is the name of the variety. See, I think I may have been here before. can grow quite big, and these have been here for a couple of years now, and any tubers that are left behind in the soil will actually regrow into a new plant in the next growing season. So don't worry if you don't harvest them all. You don't have to. In fact, you don't have to harvest any of them, and they'll be fine even after a few years. It's really the ultimate food security food for the winter time anyway, because in the summertime all it does is grow stalks and leaves, and you can't really eat those. But the tubers are quite nice. Alright, so that'll be plenty now. Let's move on to the next item on the list. Now, these are our white currants. So what we'll do is we'll simply see that branch here is actually kind of hanging down, so we might as well prune the berry bush while we're at it, and we'll just cut it back here. This is where the plant originated from. There's a little bit of grass growing. We need to clean up the grasses and some of the little ivy plants here too. So again, this branch here is kind of hanging down. Of course, you could just take this branch and actually put it into the ground and put a little rock on it. It'll root, and then you get another plant. Well, it's actually easier to just cut it off and do it as cuttings instead. Now here are a few berry cuttings. We're going to bring those to the seed swap in Knockvicker. This Sunday the 12th of February there's actually a seed swap in Knockvicker at Knockvicker Organic Gardens, and that's near Boyle. And we have our own seed and plant swap also, which is on the 26th of February, and that's here in Knockcrockery in County Roscommon. So please come to one or both if you like. So these are the golden yarrow. This is a beautiful flower, and it's great for the insects as well. And the leaves have a really nice smell. This is a lavender plant. It's English lavender, which is perennial as well, same as all of our plants. Take a look at all the rhubarb plants. Look at that. They're starting to come up now. This whole garden bed will be all full of rhubarb leaves. A bit of comfrey planted in between too. Attract beneficial insects. Let's walk through our shelter belt. Actually, this is, I've never showed this to you. This is a Sichuan pepper tree. Hopefully it'll grow bigger yet, but we'll see. It's growing fine for Martin Crawford in Devon, so let's see how it does here. What I'm looking for here is some blackcurrant plants. Look at these. These are the curly corkscrew willows. Aren't they beautiful? Here they are. These are blackcurrant plants. So all I do is to pull them up. I simply just pull them up as it is. Very easy thing to do. There you go. And that's the plant. All I did was stick a cutting in the ground a year ago, and then you get a plant. But I'm going to trim that back before I send it. Probably send the cuttings with it though. In general, the front garden is looking good, and the shelter belt too. We've definitely thinned out the shelter belt quite a bit. You can see here we are actually now completely sold out of poplar cuttings officially. This is poplar, and these are the willows. You can see here we've been cutting them back already, and there's still quite a few cuttings here, alright. Some of which are not so suitable for sending in the post, but we'll use those and plant them elsewhere or give them to people in person. Yeah, this garden is going to be all green again now. It's hard to believe it, but it's only a few months away. Here in our front garden we have some iced tea. Let's see if we can find a rhizome. Usually not hard to find. See them here popping up, and all you need to do is grab it and pull it up. Look at that, isn't that a beautiful rhizome? and we can cut those into pieces and then plant them elsewhere, and each of those pieces will make a new plant. We'll take one or two more. People won't mind if we bring a few rhizomes to a seed swap and share them with people. Plenty of them here. Right, what else do we need in the front garden? The wildlife corridor, as we call it. It is getting a bit windy now. I hope the wind noise is not too bad. I went straight past it here. This is the apple mint. See if I can pick up a few bits here. There's a bit of grass invading here on this side, which needs to be taken care of. So those are the apple mint rhizomes. Apple mint is actually the best one to eat in a salad if you wanted to. The best type of mint for that type of thing anyway, for eating, and rather than making tea. My favourite mint is still the iced tea or the Moroccan mint. The chocolate mint is good too though, but all of those as tea, not as eating mints. So let me just show you what we do with a plant like that. This is a potted plant, so to make it easier to ship or to post, we simply remove any old leaves. And this time of year, while the plant is dormant in the winter, it does it no harm at all to actually shake the soil off. So we try to gently pry it out of the pot. Yes, it is very stuck. There we go. You can see it's already fairly pot bound there, so it'll do it no harm to actually change the compost. So we just massage it a little bit and then we simply whack it off the rock. And it's good to have rocks or stumps of wood lying around your garden so that you can whack a plant's root ball off them without damaging the plant. So that's it. You can see that's going to grow into a massive plant in a matter of, well, one growing season. Same with the lavender, and advantages too. See, there's a few little weeds here. Those we don't want to include those where we're going to plant it. So again, the same thing, massage it a little and then just whack it off the rock. You can also just shake it. Make sure you don't open your mouth while you do that, because bits of soil are flying everywhere. There you go. See, really nice root system. Absolutely perfect. You could cut that back a little bit because those were the stalks off the flowers from the last growing season, but that's fine. That'll grow into a huge lavender plant. It's going to get a big harvest of flowers, and those are great for the insects too. They're nice to look at, but they also have some uses as well. So these are our gooseberries. These are green hinonmaki, which is a Japanese variety. The advantage is that they stay green when they ripen, and you can just grow them from cuttings, same as any gooseberries or currants. So let's cut some of them. But you can see they are absolutely vicious. Look at that. You probably need much thicker gloves actually than what I have here now. Hopefully, if once you handle them very gently, you'll be okay. But it definitely can get quite prickly. So I'll be trying to grab those carefully. If you hear me screaming, it's because I got stung by a briar. I presume these are called, would they be called thorns? They're thorns anyway, I guess. But technically, again, same as a rose. The roses don't have thorns. I believe these are also the same. A thorn is technically an extension of a branch. So when the end of a branch actually becomes sharp like a thorn or like a spear, but these actually don't grow at the end of the stem. They grow on the leaf bud. I suppose they are here to prevent animals from eating the young leaves when they leaf out in spring. They would be left quite vulnerable because they're probably one of the first to leaf out, same as the currants, and that's how these are able to grow in semi-shade and have a reasonable yield of fruit as well, same as the currants, but only because they actually leaf out before the canopy trees above actually leaf out. So these leaf out very early, all the berry bushes do, because they're a woodland plant. Ow, ow, ow. It's very prickly business. Oh, let's take a look. Where else can I take a few? And we did actually tip layer all of these, which is the way the plant wants to propagate itself anyway, by simply putting the branches down. Like you can actually just take the branch and just put it on the ground, same as I showed you earlier with the jostaberry, and you can simply put some soil on top and a little rock, and then that'll root into the ground. And you can cut it off then in a few months time or a year from now, next winter. See this here? There's an example of what it did naturally. It actually tip layered. Now let me pull that up gently. I don't want to break the roots too much. And quite the root it is. Take a look at that. I didn't actually put that in the ground, that did it all by itself. So I can cut this off here now. I will cut that off again, just for disease prevention. I'm going to cut it off clean, and this end too. But just for the sake of demonstration, you can see here, that's a nice plant. You could probably even split that into two. So we're going to get a big production of gooseberries this year. If we keep all this wood, we're probably going to cut it back a bit though, just to get more sunlight into the branches, in between the branches. And we're going to use some of the wood as cuttings as well to grow more plants. But I encourage everybody to have some gooseberries at home, because look, we grew these from cuttings, and that's only 2 years old now. Not even 2 years old, and it's already making new plants here by tip layering it, and it made loads of cuttings too, so, and berries as well. So with gooseberries and currants, you can't go wrong. You'll have them forever, and they're super productive and easy to keep. Very low maintenance crop as well, and I bet you they're way better than what you get in the shop, and they haven't been sprayed, and of course they probably have way more nutrients in them, and they're fresher as well, so must be good for you. Folks, unfortunately our Yacon starts are sold out now, and if you want some, you'll have to either get them elsewhere, or you'll have to wait until September until they come up on pre-sale again. But we do have lots of other bits and pieces, like Jerusalem artichokes and berry bush cuttings, and also comfrey, horseradish, and lots of other bits and pieces. So take a look at our website, you might find something. So this is what a flowering currant looks like after 3 years in lasagna bed, or a perennial garden covered in wood chips. You can see it does grow quite tall. It's definitely taller than me anyway. We've already taken some cuttings from this plant, and we usually try to take them somewhere from the center so that the plant gets more sunlight in the middle. In late spring it flowers pink, and it's really nice. It's not just nice to look at, it's also great for the insects, but you do not get berries with a flowering currant. But it is still really nice to have. Definitely well worth it. Well, the rain is kind of getting to me out here now. I'm going to finish up, and thanks for watching the video, and we will see you at the next video, and hopefully we'll see some of you at our seed and plant swap, or the seed and plant swap coming up this Sunday on Knockvicker Organic Gardens. So we will see you soon, and please take a look at our website. Any support is highly appreciated. Thanks a million. Bye bye.